Hey everybody, this is Dan from Valar Morghulis. All men must die. Today's another war recap. We'll be doing 139 against Kings and Dragons. We have victory, 92% total destruction. They threw a lot of go wipe and go wee wee at us, and a couple of hogs. Wasn't enough to really test our bases. Came out with the win. We had a few good 6-star hitters here. We're going to give a shout out to Jackster, Andy45, David, and Reek. Good job, guys. We also had a few members move on. We had Rach move on, and Miniface God, he retired, and General As Death also retired from this war. Our first replay here is actually from Mills on their number 2. I don't feature enough 2-star kind of hits on the Town Hall 10, but here we are. Maxed out base, so always something to worry about. I mean, I know the walls aren't completely maxed here, but that's okay. Just a couple breakers. Other than that, defense-wise, this base is sick, and you're just going to take a lot of damage. So it's actually really hard to 2-star these bases because your units, once they start getting engaged, just get murdered. And it's really important to approach a base with a wide funnel. That way you can really dump out your heavy hitters. Once you encounter the core on this kind of base, you're taking so much damage that it's like unsustainable, especially with the Inferno Towers there. There's no option to heal spell. You're just going to have to freeze, just a couple things on that, and that's it. So there's absolute chaos happening in the middle. We got a freeze spell, we got a rage, there's poison in there, the heroes are in there, the enemy heroes are in there, the enemy heroes are doing their thing, his heroes are doing their thing. He hasn't even used his hero abilities yet. Those on a freeze on the Inferno Tower, and our funnel starts falling apart right about here. See that Archer Tower on the north side starts, it shot off the wizards that were supposed to take it down. So that way our golems are running through there unprotected, not enough stuff's actually getting cleaned out there, and the Archer Queen decided to wander off to the left and then shoot a wall, just like typical Archer Queen action. Our Barbarian King hits his ability when he encounters that giant bomb there, so he gets blown up, but Queen dies. And our golems, 2 golems there are low health. Now, this is awesome because we're sitting at 1-star, 46%. When the golems actually die, they get a little shatter damage, and it's just enough to knock out the Expo, which has like a billion hit points. And then it knocks out the cannon as well. So we're sitting at a nice 49% to 1-star, and it's going to be a 2-star victory for us because we're able to snipe out the stuff here on the side. Now, if he actually switch up this base a little bit and actually protect his trash on the outside, I think it'd be even harder. We actually had that happen here in our latest war. Alright, good one here from the Miniface God. Town Hall 10 coming in on the 9 to bully, but this is pretty much a maxed out Town Hall 9. I believe this was a first attack. He plots really good 3-star kind of hits. We're going to have a max attack, guys. It'll be a 3 golem approach. We're going to quake it on open. We're going to wall break on in. And we're going to quake this sucker open. And then we're going to get not 1, not 2, but we're going to get 3 air defenses. And the CC and the Archer Queen all in one go. So we're going all in, man. A nice level 30 Archer Queen, 28 Barbarian King. And we're just going to roll on in, man. He is going to rage here in a second. There you go. There's the rage. Got the golems in. A couple wizards just to back us up. And hitting the poison there on the CC, just slow him down. Nice drag loon combination. We got a couple. I think there's a wizard in there, and the enemy Barbarian King steps up. Now, normally with a max attack, you want to use the heal spell on the Barbarian King. That way, when he uses Iron Fist, you keep the little barbarians up. But now we're switching over to the Laloon side because we only have 1 air defense down. I don't think he was anticipating 3 Teslas on the back side, so he has a heal spell in the back. So he was kind of like, oops, I meant to use that in the Barbarian King. I don't know if it really would have changed that much, but it does become a game changer right here, right now, because those 3 Teslas there are just messing things up. But now those Teslas, well, they can't knock down his loons because they got the heal spell, and it even gave him that sustain that he needed to keep his Lava Hound up. Now, looking back on it, I don't think he was anticipating having all of his Lava Hounds not explode. So one did explode, and there's only a couple pups left on the board. But a good 3-star hitter plans for maybe not having any pups. So he has the wizard, he has the archers on the outside. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of cleanup troops on the board, so it's kind of a long wind down. But it's going to be 3 stars, guys. And Miniface God, good playing with you. Welcome back anytime, man. Good 3-star hit there. Jazz and James, let's check this one out. Really like this hit. Really like this kind of base. This one actually is a tricky sort of anti-2-star base, because if you ever get into the core on a base like this, literally everything on the base that's remaining can shoot you. And he's going to go all in, man. He's going to go in. Because of that, he's going to bring 3 golems. And there's a lot of smart play here. I don't think a lot of people will see it, but let me tell you what's going on. We're getting a nice wide funnel. We got 6 Falcons on the bag, and he's going to just kind of tap these walls open, just using wall breakers. But pay attention to the jump spell placement here. Jump spell, as soon as this wall opens up, it's going to go down. All 3 golems are going to be like, oh, hey, I'll actually go in there. All 3 golems. That's a key part of this. So one of the golems already chewed up. That's why we needed a 3 golem approach here, wide funnel. Now the Valks go in. We get the rage. We get the poison. CC is getting handled. Unfortunately, the golems are kind of hanging back, and then the Valks go flying on into that queen. So they go in. Even with this heal spell, they don't really sustain very well. Now this was a very smart attack, because we're going to be able to get down all 4 Teslas, as well as both double giant bomb locations, because he put everything in the core, man. He's betting it all in the core. Now the Valks are toasted, because the Valks can't handle that kind of fire. But there's only 14 hogs on this base, and it's only 1 heal spell in the bag. Normally a lot of people don't want to do this, but using a reinforced entry, focusing down the point defense first, when most of them were tied up on the remaining golems. See, that's how this attack's working, man. So the hogs are running free. They do cross this what could be a double giant bomb section up top, but nobody's gonna put their bombs up there. Anyway, so they're gonna go down and finish up the sweeper. Another good trade of a 3-star hitter, man. Look at this, man. There's 5 wizards and some goblins on the backside. Always have cleanup troops, man. Always have cleanup troops. So if he can devote that much to a core in a wide funnel and still have that much cleanup troops, so can you, man. This is going to be a good hit for 3 stars. Alright, next up. Next one I want to show you is John attacking the Eclipse base. A lot of people say this is my nemesis base, because this base does piss me off. There's a lot of things about it where if you don't really know the best way to hit it, it's really frustrating. Some people say throw Valks at this base. You gotta be crazy, man. Valks cannot be, unless you have like the wide funnel. I already showed you a good replay on when to use the Valks. It's actually hard to do. Now this attack, what you're about to see, is just a shattered go La Lune. 2 golem, La Lunin, and it will always work. It will always work. It's crazy dependable, insanely reliable. Now some people quake it. I don't like quake. The reason being is because you can jump rage here, and that's more efficient. Because even with this late Barbarian King, he's going to go in there and just murder everything. And it's going to be, you bring in more power, so you get more like penetration when you're going on in. You do have the 2, you'd always be like 2 heavy storages that you need to knock out here. So even if your Barbarian King's actually on upgrade, see, it's just overkill with that Barbarian King being in there. Honestly, if you just had a couple Wizzies, you'd just be fine. Or bring 2 Valks. You could still crush this base. I've crushed this base with a Barbarian King on upgrade, maxed out like this. Now, the expos are pointed down, so that's definitely a reason to La Lune the hell out of this base. But if you look at the parking locations, the anchor points for these Lava Hounds, they are always going to protect the loons. Now, I wish the last Lava Hound was not deployed there. It was deployed somewhere on the south side, so it would swing along the Wizard Tower and the Archer Tower. That way we can drop loons to nail those while protected, plus pick up any kind of air mines. So I think there's one thing to maybe improve on this attack, but other than that, this attack is so reliable. Because of the design, the layout of this base, those sweepers can never truly protect against loons, and it always leaves you a couple things like haste or whatever to ruin it. So even if those expos were up, it's just not enough big deal. I mean, look at all the pups on the board. Try to count them. This base just gets wrecked by La Lune, and it actually is a really good base if nobody knows how to attack it. But we figured it out. This is it. There you go, John chapter 17. Just ruining that base. Last one I want to show you. David, 6-star hitter. This guy here has his DGBs next to his hero pads, And honestly, looking back on it, we should probably have ran a 3 golem approach and put a jump spell, wall break into the wizards on the south side, and then jump spell on top of the uh, air sweeper there. That way the golems would path off to the air defenses and the mortars and blowing both bombs. But this one here is a really good attack, so that Archer Queen hopped the wall, can't anticipate that, so he brought the jump, just so that way he can get his units in on that DGB spot. Now, look at this base, man. It's not maxed by any means. So you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's got to be a first attack, we're just rolling this base. Nah. It's got to be a second attack, right? Nah. It's going to be a third attack. Nah. Fourth? Nah. This here's the 5th attack on this base. We took 5 attacks to clean this base. I don't know. We just kept flopping on it. I failed on it. I attacked this base. I couldn't do it with my long moon strategy. But everything's going nice for the wreck train here. There's no spring traps to slow him down. We do have ground skeletons. Now, one damn hog went to the left, which caused both the bombs here to get tripped. So now he's out of heal spells. Everything's low health with skeletons and the BK there. They chew everything up. But I think a good theme of this war was always having cleanup troops in the back. Look, man, we got surgical goblins on the backside. We got wizards all over the place. They're cleaning up. And the Archer Queen with her her small little group of archers there are able to finish off that Barbarian King. And it's going to be 3 stars, man. So even though there's like a minute left on the board, cleanup troops happen early. There's always room for cleanup troops, and he had them all over the place, preventing the the 90% crap. And it's going to be a 3-star hit, 6-star war for David, and that'll be it for this this recap. All right, guys, this is Dan. Y'all take care.